Hi folks, Florida Man here. Today I'm bringing you an after-action report on a game I played years ago, which I was planning to make before my channel went on hiatus, years ago. The game was titled Brave New World, and I played as Italy. Please enjoy. I began this game with an aggressive anti-French opening. My reasoning is because I had good relations with Austria, but Austria believed it was possible for them to work together with Turkey to weaken Russia. It was important that I not interfere in the East too early. At the same time, I worked on getting England and Germany to move against France. Looking to the East, Turkey actually did move against Russia early on here, so Austria had that side of the map seemingly well in hand. In the fall, you can see I psyched France out a bit, and caused them to miss out on getting Spain this year, trying to defend Marseille from an attack I did not bother launching. Interestingly, Austria supports Russia into Romania, indicating that the Austrian is successfully playing both sides over there. In the west, England supports Germany into Belgium. That was entirely unnecessary, but it does demonstrate that they're solidly aligned together. For now. I did very little in that season, so we'll quickly move on to the builds. In the build phase, I got a fleet. Austria got an army and a fleet, which was honestly a little worrying for me. I was optimistic the fleet would be for Turkey, but I knew it would be a problem long-term if Turkey fell and Austria still had two fleets. From the Italian perspective, I don't think Austria should ever really get a second fleet. The Mediterranean is crowded enough as it is. In spring 1902, I make divided moves, pushing a fleet into the Ionian Sea and moving my other units toward France. Happily, England and Germany were also moving against France, which I knew would make it easier for me to bring the French down. France moved to Spain's north coast rather than south coast, signaling a lack of aggression toward me personally. Austria made a worrying move into the Adriatic Sea at the same time, which I felt had no constructive purpose other than preparing for a possible attack against me. And I still feel that way. That's what the Adriatic Sea is for Austria. If Austria just wanted to move toward Turkey, moving that fleet into Albania would have been equally useful and not as dangerous to me. In fall, though, I make a deal with Austria that I will vacate Venice, making Trieste more secure, in exchange for Austria vacating Adriatic Sea, making Venice more secure. You see that I move Apulia to Ionian and West Med to Tyrrhenian, because the units and Rome and Apulia will allow me to easily take Venice back if Austria breaks their word to me here, and the Tyrrhenian fleet can defend Tunis in case Austria sneaks into the Ionian. Austria had argued that the unit in Adriatic Sea was defensive in nature, and that really just made me untrusting. I was really anticipating the worst here, imagining Austria would sneak attack me, since he'd already made significant advancement against Turkey and acquired a powerful Russian ally, and therefore maybe he wouldn't think he needed me. However, Austria does keep to his word. In spring 1903, I renew my movement toward France and self-bounce in Venice because Austria had built a unit in Trieste, an army this time, which I again found threatening. It's almost as if Austria does not care about my feelings. Now, my moves toward France allow Austria to get into the Ionian Sea, but Austria assures me that is to sneak over to Turkey. Fortunately, in fall, Austria actually does sneak into the sea spaces next to Turkey, and at the same time I finally gain a French center, which allows me to get a build. England sneaks into Brest as well, and Germany moves east to help Austria against Russia. There's a loose central triple alliance here at this point, and it will endure for a while, in one form or another. In the build phase, Germany and I both get fleets, indicating, again, that we're both more committed to each other and to this central triple than we are to maintaining a relationship with England. England does not initially seem to get the implication of Germany's build, though, because in spring 1904, England supports Germany into Sweden and continues the offensive against France as usual. I get into Spain, and the alliance in general advances, although unfortunately Austria and Mars here, which is why Turkey breaks into the Aegean Sea. Fall 1904, I sneak into Portugal at the same time that England takes the mid-Atlantic Ocean, and France gets essentially eliminated from contention in this game. England begins positioning to take St. Pete, and Austria repositions to take Sevastopol. It's a good season for the alliance. The 1904 build phase is when I finally build a new army. Spring 1905, I get into Spain, Brest, and Trieste. At this point, I'm closest in alignment with Germany. Germany and I are taking sides with each other against both England and Austria. Germany gets into Moscow, and with this stab, we begin to have the advantage over Austria. In fall, I just push that further. Germany and England are fighting as well, but Germany has a much clearer advantage over England, whereas I'm really just trying to improve my position against Austria right now, using lies and shifting my units around so as to maximize my chances of succeeding against Austria over the next few years. The only thing I'm really worried about here is that Germany will outpace me in terms of growth. In the build phase, I happily get 2 new fleets in an army, so I now clearly outnumber Austria at sea, and I have plenty of land-based power with which to hold Trieste. In spring 1906, I sneak into Serbia, force the Ionian, and begin advancing north by moving into the mid-Atlantic. Austria, recognizing that Germany is on my side and is at least as much of a threat as me, chooses to take Warsaw from Germany rather than committing those additional units to homeland defense. I think I may have used some honeyed words to try and make that more likely. With the fall, I get Vienna, Serbia, and Greece, breaking Austria down to a very low level of power, despite Austria gaining Moscow and the rest of Turkey. In the build, I acquire new fleets as well as an army. In retrospect, I think that probably acquiring the new fleets was not necessary, and might have been a mistake. They won't help me break into the highly defensible Turkish position that Austria has acquired. They also won't help me defend all the land territories I've acquired that could be attacked by Germany, who is really the largest threat left. In spring 1907, with England all but gone, Germany's moves appear more threatening toward me now than toward England. Germany is protecting Paris and his home centers from any attack by me or Austria, and I can sense I'm going to have trouble making further progress, breaking through to the next tier of power on this map. Over the course of this year, I end up feeling it's going to be increasingly difficult to advance further against Austria as well. And Germany, having conquered the entire northern part of the map and begun to move units toward me, poses a threat of likely solo if the game continues. Which is why it's at this point that I agree to a 3-power draw with Germany and Austria, accepting that I probably would not solo if the game continued. Looking back over the map, over this final map, as I prepared to do this after-action report, there was a moment when I forgot which country I played, and thought that I had played Germany, and I wondered why I didn't continue playing because I thought I had pretty good odds of pulling off solo here. And that leads me to the conclusion that I probably made the right call here. As Italy, I don't think I was going to win this game. I think it was going to be Germany's. So the draw was the best result possible at this point, without some sort of divine diplomacy that I don't think I was going to pull off. I hope you liked this commentary, and if so, I hope you'll like, subscribe, and give me your suggestions for future videos in the comments below. Your engagement makes the channel stronger and helps push me forward in my goal of becoming the biggest diplomacy YouTuber. Until next time, Florida Man out.